Hi, it's Tina, tourism trainer, facilitator and clarity coach. My mission is to help tourism professionals achieve high performance so they can build businesses and destinations that last. And that's what the Tourism and Megatrends series is all about. It's about having a look at what's going on around us and what's coming at us in the future that might affect our ability to achieve high performance and build businesses and destinations that last. And what is a megatrend? Firstly, a megatrend is a long-term shift in behaviour and attitude that has global impact across multiple industries. So it's a seismic change in our behaviours and attitudes, pretty much. This is part 4 in the series, and today we're going to talk about digitalisation. So before I go any further, it's really important for me in this one to have a bit of a disclaimer and say that I'm not an expert on digitalisation by any means. But like the rest of you, I am somebody who lives in a digitalised world and very much trying to run a successful business, working and navigating through the digital environment we're now in. So I empathise with anybody who says, oh my God, no, she's not talking about digitalisation, you want to bury your head in the sand. I've certainly been there. And I empathise with anyone who just struggles, who's committed to working with digitalisation and struggles. And really all I can do is share with you my perspectives, my thoughts and what I've gathered about this megatrend and how it may affect you and your industry. So on that basis, we'll move ahead and have a look at really what makes up the megatrend of digitalisation. Firstly, just to define what it is we're talking about, there's a lot of related terms out there in the digital space. For the purposes of this blog, what we're talking about is the process by which technology has kind of restructured our lives around digital content, digital channels and digital media. It's very much about our social life and about how we interact, we as individuals interact with technology and with each other on those platforms. And that's an important thing to consider. It's very much about the internet and about social media. Nowadays, you and I and everybody around us uses multiple devices to connect with the internet. Think about smartphones, tablets, media devices, imaging devices, e-readers, any of those type of things, multiple ways for us to be on the internet and interacting with each other. It's estimated that there are, depending where you look, between 20 and 100 billion devices active in the world right now. And some societies are reporting that they have a higher population of devices than of people, and that seems to be true. The 2018 estimate for the number of people who are on social media platforms is 3 billion, and that's up I think 13% on last year, and against the background of steady growth for the last 20 or 25 years, and it's still only in its infancy. It's still nowhere near saturation point. So it's a real phenomenon that has radically changed the world in which we live, and none greater, I guess, or none more so than the tourism industry, which has been completely transformed and disrupted, which is the favoured term, by technology in recent years. You can think about even the what's now old-fashioned technology, booking online, checking your bag in, ticketless flights, right up to the transformations that have been brought about by TripAdvisor and Airbnb, for example. And further into the future, artificial intelligence and virtual reality are really going to come into their own as changers and drivers of the tourism industry. But for now, we'll just look at that space of the internet and social media and what that has meant. So we'll move in a little bit further to what it has meant for society. The first thing is society has embraced the benefits of digitalisation. And it's important to kind of realise that the megatrend has been driven by consumer demand just as much as it has been driven by technological advances. We tend to think it's the guys in t-shirts in the back room who are changing our society and disrupting us out of our coziness. It's really not just that. They've provided the capability, but we've provided the demand. And what we're after are the key benefits of the internet and social media. It's access to knowledge, access to learning, and access to connection. And the benefit we love the most is that the access is easy, it's convenient, it's quick, it's often instantaneous, and it's personalised. We're able to get the information we want at the time we want it. So we're very much driving it. Those benefits are benefits we no longer want to live without. I'm of a generation that has transitioned from analog to digital, and I find it hard to remember what it was like before I had all my devices. More than half the world's population have no memory even of the world before digitalisation. So it's benefits we have, we're not going to do without in the future. Mobile integration is increasing. And what mobile integration is about is how all these various platforms and media are interacting with each other, and in turn how that is interacting with us and our lives. And we see that all the time. We can see how connected things are. That's only going to increase into the future. And being honest, we don't really know exactly what that will look like or the full capabilities of what that will end up like. But I strongly recommend you do a search for an article called It's 2030 and I'm Going on My Holidays, for a really excellent example of what it's going to look and feel like when we're on our holidays. The best I can do is share a little bit of that with you, and it's to give a context to what I'm speaking about. If you imagine you've booked and travelled all on your device and spoken, really not had to speak with anyone or interact with anyone, you arrive at your hotel, and as you walk in the door, the receptionist says, "Hi Tina, how was your trip from Ireland?" And you get a little buzz of, ooh, recognition and service. And in reality what's happening is through their smart glasses that they're wearing, facial recognition software has told them who you are and where you're coming from. They may speak to you in their native language, and what will happen on your smart glasses is that will be translated as subtitles that run across the bottom of your glasses so that you can interact with each other. You'll go to your room and open your door with your device. You'll use voice activation to commands about your television or your bed or your bathroom or whatever else. You'll order a driverless cab to take you out that evening. As soon as you do, your stream on your device is going to start recommending things to do and places to go and places to eat near you. You'll be able, again through voice, just to filter that down. If you select a restaurant, it will tell you how busy it is, it will tell you what the wait time is, it will read out the menu to you. On your way, you'll be able to decide and order in advance for when you get there. If you're a regular customer, there'll probably be a bonus, and they'll also recognise you as you arrive into your restaurant. All of it will feel good. In the meantime, you'll be able to check in at home on your live stream to see how the dog is doing, maybe let them out, check everything's okay, have a chat with your family, and proceed with your evening meal. That's just an example of what it might be like, and that's very much really only the tip of the iceberg. Right across our lives, that's the way we will live and access our information. This means that search is now a way of life and will become more so. So if you remember, search is actually the original digital behaviour. This is where we started, by searching for things on the internet. And it's still the most prevalent thing we do. But as you can get by that example, it's not going to be so much an active decision to search for something as a seamless, passive type of thing, where what you want and need to know at a point in time comes at you in a convenient and easily accessible way. And that's why search remains not so much an activity as part of the way we live our lives. And this is very much about because the device is going to be an extension of our very self. And why is that, or what's that about? Really, as I've just explained, the device adds a lot of convenience to us and a lot of access. And the more we use our smart device, the smarter it gets for us. The more we give it our information, the more it understands what we like, what we need, how we get it, the more personalised and tailored it becomes. Therefore, the more useful it is to your business, or yourself, even just in your life. So if you think, for example, that on your device right now might be your memories, your contacts, your relationships, your business information, things you need for banking or travel, all of your information is on that one little device. It's an essential part of the way you live your life on a day-to-day basis. And being without it would be like not having part of your very self with you. And there's a very real phenomenon called nomophobia at the moment, which is basically the anxiety around not being connected or not having your device with you at a point in time. And that's a very, very real fear. And at the moment we're kind of having the debate of, people need to detox, they need to move away from their device, they need to give themselves a bit of space, they need to limit their time. We're actually going to move on from that because it's so closely connected with ourselves. What we're going to do to combat that anxiety is just to make sure we're never without our device and we're never out of coverage. So we're just going to prevent that reality happening. And the other important thing about this is, with all the information and things we want to do and come at us in our lives, our own memories really can't process that and filter that. So we will rely on the device to serve the memory function, and we'll do that in a conscious way. What you don't need to remember in your head, you'll leave with your device, and what you do need, you'll keep in your head, and you'll save your headspace for that. So it is not just an extension of yourself, but of your mind. And the idea of suggesting that you would detox from that or be without that for even part of the day will sound quite insane. It'll be a bit like me suggesting, go away for the weekend without your right hand and see how you get on. You'll feel better when you come back. People will no longer think that that's a smart thing to do. The next thing is that your life will be streamed live. Very much we have embraced the idea of living our lives in public, on sharing what we do on broadcast media. Reality TV started this phenomenon and the world has gone with it. Again, the demand has driven this particular thing, but live streaming is going to be a bigger feature than photos, for example. So it would be totally normal for us to join our families and friends on their holidays while they stream back to us what they're doing at a point in time, and we get to see what they're seeing through their smart glasses on our smart glasses, and we'll very much be part of what that's about. So live streaming is going to be a feature of life in the future. And I guess I've just flipped on there to what you can do about it. Really, the only thing we can do as tourism operators is embrace digitalisation. It's a whole new world. It's becoming more and more of what we've started to see as part of the way we live our lives. And while, again, I mentioned it earlier, we may be resisting it a little bit and we may feel it's overwhelming and we're out of our depth in that space, we very much have to get over that idea. And we were speaking about it just before the video. We have to get over that and embrace it, because it is a feature of what life and business is going to be all about. You need to start thinking of yourself, if you don't already, as a digital business in a digital world, serving a digital visitor. Even if what you're selling is digital detox, the people who come to you are going to come there via digital channels. So it's pretty much all embracing. And with the mindset of being digital, you'll start to view your business in a different way. And one of the important things you will probably do is make digital transformation your business strategy. So digital transformation is actually different to digitalization. It's taking the phenomenon of digitalization and actually completely changing the way you do your business. It's about putting the visitor at the very heart of your business in a way more so than we've ever done in the past. The visitor wants access instantaneously, easily, and in a personalized way. They're going to give you all their data because as we see the devices as an extension of ourselves, we'll happily share our data with companies and platforms that can help make our lives easier. So when they give you that permission, they expect you to serve them in that way. You'll have a lot of data. They'll expect you to preempt what they want, to know their name when you arrive, and to tailor packages exactly to what they're about. It will mean personalization. But this is difficult. This takes a lot of investment, and this means actually completely changing how you do your business. So writing it into your long-term business strategy is important. The only thing we know for certain is that change is going to be a constant, and we need to always be monitoring the internet and social media for what the latest advances are. To be honest with you, when I was researching this article, I came across terms that were the biggest things of 2018 that I actually hadn't even heard about. And it shows that one of the most important things we need to get good at is change. And change is going to need to be a core business competency for you and me and for everybody else. The next thing is to think mobile first. And this is, you might think that's about, don't create your website for desktop and try and adapt it. That is what it is, but we're kind of gone past that as well. Let's assume we are now designing from mobile because that's where it's at. That's where most people are searching and accessing their information. It's about the experience of that once they're with you. It's about making it intuitive and easy and instantaneous. So it is about making sure everybody can book online with you in an easy, hassle-free way. So an example that I came across is Cole Haan, who are a handbag and a bag and shoe company, and they have gone through digital transformation in their business. They have reduced the number of clicks from when people first search to when they purchase to just 2, and that's down from 15. And that's kind of the example we may all need to be following. An even more extreme example is Domino Pizzas, who have a 0-click purchase option, where if you just open your phone on the Domino's apps, if you have the Domino's app open for longer than 10 seconds, it will automatically order your favourite pizza, bill you, and deliver it to you as well. And that's the future of thinking mobile first. So moving on, the next thing is to get ready to be live streamed. It is a fact of life that the way people take photos now, in the future they will be streaming live. It will be, as I said, totally normal to join your friends and families on their live stream while they're on holidays. This means you're on camera all the time. You need to think about your own self-image. You need to think about how your brand is presented, how you're seen to be interacting with your staff, your visitors, your place in the environment. All of those things. Your health and safety will be important, for example. It's going to be there for all to see all the time. That presents an opportunity and also a challenge. The next thing is to get ready or to be in front of the passing trade. And passing trade is very much a traditional tourism term where we talk about the people who might be happening past your business or past your sign or an opportunity to hear about you and how they may be encouraged to come and visit you. The passing trade now is online. If you go back to the example I was giving you of arriving in my hotel and then using all my integrated mobile platforms to decide what to do, that's the point where I am in my head passing through the options and deciding where to go. So this is where the real strength and core skill of being digitally aware and a digitally competent business is going to come into play. Your business and your experience needs to be showing up in those suggested itineraries, those special offers, those things to do that are coming to my live stream while I'm here in your vicinity, but still using my social media platforms. I don't have the expertise in that, but developing expertise for all businesses is going to be absolutely essential. And if not developing the expertise yourself, accessing experts who can support you in that area. And finally, an old chestnut. Customer service is going to be an increasingly important thing in a digitalised society. Pre-digital, it was probably the most important thing, and now, right in the middle of this megatrend gathering pace, it's still the most important thing, and it's becoming more important. And the reason is obvious. You're on all the time through live stream. People can review you instantly. Those who are thinking about coming to you can see that review instantly. We can all feed back all our friends and family and what they experienced while they were with you. So delivering excellent customer service and excellent experience every single time is going to be really important, because even just getting it wrong once or twice is going to have a massively detrimental effect. So it's all going to be about investing in your people and investing in your own customer service, because the world is going to see in reality what it's like all the time before they make a purchase decision to come to you. So there's plenty of challenges presented by digitalisation. There's also plenty of opportunity. Like I said, I can understand how people might feel quite overwhelmed by it. What we know for certain is that we have to embrace it, that it's here to stay, that we have to get good at change, at anticipating and reacting to what's happening with the technological platforms, but also the consumer demand that's driving those platforms to be mega features of our life. So I wish you luck with all of that. I'll be back again next week with the Tourism and Megatrends series, and I hope to see you then. I hope you'll be able to join me. And in the meantime, I wish you ongoing lasting success.